me. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Devontae Freeman, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Baltimore Ravens. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. As we get a peek at their dynamic signal caller hailing from Mississippi State, it's Dak Prescott. An early statement on the game's first play. 18 yards and a first down.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact and he'll go deep.
Now this is Hilton on the receiving end. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Get the first down and more inside the 20. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. The numbers on the ground for McKinnon last week. 12 carries, 51 yards, and a touchdown.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to you before the game because they told us that in last week's contest.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his second touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
This is similar to baseball where you walk the leadoff hitter and you don't expect him to come around and score. Almost impossible. Anytime a defense has to defend a short field, you usually end up seeing the result we saw, giving up points.
So that drive, 4 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
No, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And here are the Colts offensive starters.
Ryan Kelly's a great example of how valuable centers have become in the NFL. A former first-round pick, he was plugged in immediately to be a starter to handle big nose tackles as well as blitzing linebackers and also able to move and get out into the run game and get to the second and third level and deliver blocks.
Looking to throw again on second down. Prescott and caught right side, Green. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Defensively, here are the starters for Baltimore. We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
What they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league. So there's the conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. And finding Keelan Cole. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run, Devontae Freeman. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd and 12, Prescott. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that will be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
To throw again on second down. Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage and make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings us one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner, forget starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
The numbers for Freeman a week ago. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
Again, it'll be Freeman. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
That ball caught by Funchess. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Devin Funchess. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field, and he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I'll guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. He can run for it, and he will.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on.
From the gun, they will run with McKinnon. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second down, McKinnon. And an alley to run. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 yards there and a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So after the run by McKinnon, here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Screen play, McKinnon. And he'll go down at the 28.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Jackson. Over the middle here to Brown. Now Brown, he lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there and handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Offense.
And that'll set them back 5. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Prescott off play action. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Defensively, that's Earl Thomas, the all-pro safety, knocking it free. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Prescott. He's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in.
Let's go.
And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 21. Prescott now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down. Out of the gun. They give to Freeman. Freeman a 1st down and more. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Devontae Freeman. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts have taken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 14-7. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Jackson now. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3-and-out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Jackson will throw again. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. He had 3 catches last week. That one his 3rd on this drive alone. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Jackson, option right. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you called it the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Jackson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the Colts pick it up. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Interference. Defense.
A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
On first down, McKinnon again. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Jackson now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down. On first down now, run with McKinnon. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
It was Justin Houston who got him down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Tight end run, tight end run. Everyone's going.
He'll have a first down inside the 10. And down to the 7-yard line. They get the first. The decision to run on third and medium winds up being a good one.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on third and goal.
It's a bit of a dangerous part of the field for them to break into their bag of tricks, but for a minute there, I thought it was going to set up perfectly for them. Instead, they don't get into the end zone, but they do pick up positive yardage.
They'll try and run with McKinnon. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. Let's think here. You're still just in the second quarter. You taking the 3 points?
I am taking the 3 points, and I'm just relying on my defense here. Show me I have a little confidence in them, and let the offense know, nice drive. Come back next time. We'll go get 6 then, but for now, we'll take the 3.
Tucker's kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series, so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Looking to throw, Prescott. And that is incomplete here. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Prescott from the gun. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. That'll put him at an even 50 receiving yards now in this first half. And it's a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Freeman. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. We'll check on his status when we get back. On 2nd and 12, Prescott, and the catch made by Hilton. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Oh, Prescott stripped. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
On 2nd down and 4, Jackson. And he slides to avoid the hit. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Only a yard on the sneak, not what he was hoping for, and it's 3rd down. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first, and he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens have retaken the lead. So he's able to sneak it in, and credit to the guys up front.
Oh, without a doubt, because they have the leverage on this play. We always talk about low man wins and one-on-one battles. That's exactly what happened there. Their offensive line, lower than the defensive front.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 17-14. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. We focus our attention now on T.Y. Hilton as he gets ready to head back onto the field. Well, September sure treated him kindly. Now we flip over to October. Any reason to think that those numbers drop, or can he keep the pace up?
Well, he can keep the pace up, but it's going to get a lot more difficult now. To me, it's a lot like baseball, all right? When guys, when they first hit the league, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter, and they go through the league the first time and they're hot, they're going, wow, what a phenom. Then they get tape on him. They get scouting reports. They start to do different things. Let's see if he's going to adapt and expand his game in order to keep up that type of production.
That's a good call because he's a known entity. See how they defend him going forward. Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Prescott now. Oh, Prescott stripped. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play. Throwing on second and long. Prescott. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's McKinnon, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd down and 12. Here's Jackson to throw. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. He's got it to Hilton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. It was a 10-point win in the end, 26-16, the final. From there, we head to the Big Apple, more specifically to MetLife Stadium in Jersey, to check on the Giants. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Green Bay Packers. Jamon Moore, well over 100 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They were able to defeat Houston last week. They lead things here as well as they try to make it 2 victories in a row. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Let's make these babies.
Jackson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. McKinnon. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Bilal Nichols. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Jackson options out left, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. Looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the 2nd half. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 7 now from their own 7. Here's Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. 15 yards on the play. 1st down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense. You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
Now Prescott, complete to Hilton. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the draw, this will be Freeman. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Ebron with it over the middle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive.
Oh, it's out. McKinnon fumbled it, and the Colts pick it up. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. So a big turn of events there. This defense makes the play. They return it for the score, and now they have the lead.
So much for ball security for the offense. Playing with a lead in the 2nd half. They give the ball up, and all of a sudden they're behind.
Big-time fumble. Sanders now to add the extra point. It's up and good to make it 21-17. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Jerick McKinnon making his way back onto the field. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
Now McKinnon. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid them, picking up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Dobbins, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. On 2nd and 12. Jackson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage. That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Danico Autry is in on the stop.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been...
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Fielded at the 20. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still, no yardage. Okay.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's an 11-yard pickup. Thought they'd run it on 3rd and 1. Not the case. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Prescott yet again. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Keelan Cole, the intended target, and now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To the air again, Prescott. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline. You hate to give the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you're just holding a slim lead, but that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And he takes it in for a Colts score. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up, 2nd and 10. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. A gain of 13, it's a 1st down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's going to have to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a give, this is McKinnon. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. The All-Pro Justin Houston in on the tackle. On 3rd down, Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
4th down, here's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Dalvins, and he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a 1st down.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Jackson now, throwing again. And this one's incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. The linebacker Fred Warner right there on the coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Let's see what our player spotlight feature has in store with Dak Prescott. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll get 3 out of the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen, did not let him get downfield.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been terrific so far. This will be fielded at the 17. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. The linebacker, Darius Leonard, applied the heat. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Towards the end zone for Brown. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's Jackson. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Bunt. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. From the gun, Jackson. That's caught left side by Jake Bunt. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
They got to get it to the 21 here on third down. They go play action with Jackson. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Jerick McKinnon, his fourth touchdown on the year, as they now sit just a two-point conversion away from tying this game up in the fourth quarter.
The touchdown is huge, but the focus now is on the two-point play. I don't want to say they have a cushion here, but if they don't get it, they still have a chance for onside kick.
They would need some big-time help, but you're right. There would be a shot, but the focus right now on that two-point conversion. Now a big play here as the Ravens are going to go for the two-point conversion. He'll look to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down one. What's the sense? I like what they did.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all three timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Caught left side by Hilton. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Right here.
Prescott to throw. Green's got it over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. And he's got his man Hilton. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. This is Freeman. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Here we go.
They go down to a knee and a sigh of relief as they are into the win column for the first time this year. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Colts, the preparation pays off as they pick up their first win on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.